Welcome to the first video that will retire your parents. I'm kidding. This isn't going to retire parents. Maybe. But this is my boot camp. This is Benjamin's boot camp. BB, Benjamin's boot camp. And I'm going to be teaching you from the basics to the advanced concepts of how to trade for completely free on YouTube, because that's what I do. I stream for free. I've accumulated hundreds of thousands of dollars for completely free on stream. I have made payouts. I have blown accounts, made payouts. Everything I've shown has been done on stream publicly. And I do it all for free. Now, in this mentorship, in this boot camp, it's not just for beginners, because I highly encourage you, if you're an intermediate trader or even an advanced trader, to watch the beginning parts of this boot camp, because it expands your knowledge on things you might not already know. All right? You might say, oh, I already know about fair value gaps. Do you though? Do you know everything about them? Do you know when to expect a breakaway gap? When to expect an inversion? Do you know when to expect those things? If what I just said makes you like, what is the breakaway? Don't worry. That's targeting towards the people that are more advanced. But this is going to be the boot camp, the Benjamin's boot camp from scratch. This is V2. This is the video and the series to watch if you want to learn how to trade smart money concepts, ICT concepts. Now, after this, I encourage you to go watch the ICT concepts mentorship to expand your knowledge, because I learned from him. I'm not a trader like someone else who learns from him and then claims he didn't. I learned fully from ICT. Now, you like that or don't? That's what I did, and I make hundreds of thousands of dollars doing that. So, besides that point, trading, I'm going to talk a little bit about what you're getting into before we continue into this boot camp, and what are the videos going to be like. Trading is an industry that changes who you are as a person psychologically and physically. If you are in the situation where you are struggling for money, if you are struggling to make ends meet, this is not for you. You will lose money first. When you trade with emotions, you will lose money, okay? If you trade with emotions, you will lose money. You kind of have to shape yourself into the person that doesn't care about money to become a successful trader, okay? Saying that, if you are struggling, go focus on finding a part-time job. Build the income. If you are a young kid, I started trading when I was 13 years old. If you are a young kid, go find a night job. While you can do this, work a job, build up an income. Trading is a job on the side until it's a main hobby, until it's your career. I started working as a dishwasher, then as a cook, then in cybersecurity, and then just a few months ago, quit my full-time job, and now I'm making what I used to make a year in a month. So there's that. Going into this, I'm going to be branching first on teaching the concepts, teaching the PD arrays, the language. Then we're going to be going into forming that into entry models. Yes, wait, why so early? Because entry models are not what's important in trading. Everyone focuses on it because that's what drives revenue and marketing for their courses. We're going to do it the right way. We're going to learn about the concepts, then the different types of entry models, then the different types of profiles. If you don't understand this, I'll explain it more. And then we're going to understand how to put it all together into a trading system. And then before we even touch that system, we're going to go into the psychology and risk management side of trading. Now, if you are new or if you are unprofitable, I encourage you to study and learn before you even go into demo trading, because going and jumping into a position that requires psychology can nurture the wrong habits in your brain that could expand how long it's going to take for you to become successful. Jumping into the demo trading, jumping into the live trading too early will harm you more than doing good. It will make you lose money, and it will harm your psychology. So lower your ego and expectations of making a lot of money quick. Take the long game, because in the end, that's actually the shorter game. That's what I did, and I'm 19 years old, making over $100,000 a month. Now, second of all, going into this boot camp, if you don't understand something, you are not allowed to skip ahead into the next video, no matter what, okay? You have to understand before you go into the next one. It's going to be scaled out like that. But guys, This is going to be completely different. This will change your life. Trading will change your life. I was 320 pounds, suicidal. I had nothing going for me. I was super depressed. I was failing in school, getting made fun of, but I always knew I was going to do something with my life. When I learned about trading, not only did it change me mentally because of the discipline and the troubles it put me through, but it grew me as a person to lead me closer to God, and it led me closer to losing more weight, and now I'm 190 pounds instead of 320. You have to understand that this is a mental game. This is one of the hardest industries to be in because you're battling yourself and yourself only. We are our worst enemies in the markets. Our bad habits are our worst enemies in the markets. You wake up late, you jerk your meat, you do all these bad habits, you're not going to come into the markets and perform well. Trading is going to force you into becoming a more disciplined person. Trading is going to force you into waking up early, into washing the dishes, into eating healthy, into going to the gym more. Trading is going to change you as a person. But you have to understand that to do the impossible, you have to see the invisible. To be able to achieve something hard like this, you have to have an undying faith in yourself, an undying faith in God and His plan for you. Because you will get pushed to your limits. You will cry. You will lose money. The only thing that is going to drive you further is your faith. So before you jump into this, before you understand what you're getting yourself into, know this. It's going to be hard. You're going to cry. You're going to lose money. Damn it, you might lose people. You might lose relationships. But this is what you're sacrificing to give your future family a better life. This is what you're sacrificing to give your kids food on their table, a nice car, vacations, nice clothes, a happy mom and dad. So understand what you're getting in here. Now, we're not all starting at the same position. Some people are going to be a lot older. They have more obligations. You have to take this on a more conservative approach. If you're younger, you want to take it on more of a controlled risk approach. Take more risks. Learn more lessons. That means lose more. But at the end of the day, going through this boot camp, I will show you the real organic truth behind a profitable trader. I will show you my losses, my wins, and everything, because that is how you learn. I will not try to promote anything. I will not try to get you guys to buy a course or a mentorship. I don't care if you think I'm a bad trader because I might lose a week straight. Just letting you know, I do that. Every profitable trader loses a week straight, takes a lot of losing streaks. That's part of the process. And to be able to stick to your system throughout that process, you have to have a sharp mind. This game will change you as a person. But it's only your faith and your undying willpower to become successful that will drive you to success. It's how bad you actually want it that will bring you into the person you need to be in this game. There's no faking it. The truth is exposed eventually, and it's only the people that are hungry for it the most that will succeed. So enough of that motivational talk. I want to talk a little bit about the system and what's going into this mentorship, okay? Now, it's going to be raw. There's going to be no editing. It's just going to be focusing on dumping out content and putting it out there, okay? So we're going to start with our trading model. This is our trading model. Next, we're going to first start with our PD arrays. PD arrays is called price delivery arrays. That's patterns we look for in price action. Price indications that might cause price action to go up or down, okay? Indications that might be like, oh, price action is going to target this high because there's this PD array there, okay? So I'm going to teach you what that is. PD arrays. Understanding PD arrays. It's going to bubble from something called fair value gaps, order blocks, breaker blocks, all these cool words I'm going to explain to you guys. Now, these are your PD arrays. But before you understand PD arrays, there's one secret little bubble here. There's one secret concept you have to understand before you can understand anything. Liquidity. I can't even draw an L. Liquidity. Okay? That right there is what drives the markets. Understanding liquidity. Now, a lot of you advanced traders don't even understand it, because sometimes price action will be so obvious that it's going to rebalance and go back up higher, but then it's going to just rip without going back up to this high. And that's understanding why and what happens in the markets. So you have liquidity. That is our star. Then we tunnel that into PD arrays. That forms you and teaches you the language of trading, understanding the basics. Then we're going to take this and bubble it down into profiles. How do you understand what's going to happen? How do you predict what's going to happen on the daily chart in a day? How do you know if price action is going to go up higher in a day versus lower in a day? That is, we're going to use the patterns that we learn here to form a narrative, to then form a bias, to then form a profile, to then form our entry model. Okay? So it goes from the language. All right? I can't remember the order I just said it, but it goes from the language to the narrative to the bias to the profile to the entry model. Okay? It's a system. Just like I said, it's a repeating system. So it goes from here, narrative, bias, profile, entry model. That's not it. Now that you have your entry, what's next? Psychology and risk management, because not every entry will win. You're going to go to psychology, risk management, making sure that everything is funneling to profitability. But what's after that? Okay, what's after psychology, risk management? You have your entry model, your bias, your narrative, your profile, your risk management, your psychology. It's putting it all back to what we root it from, and that's our trading model. Okay? It's an endless spiral of endless refining. That's one trading model. We will start by learning the PD arrays, then the narrative, then the bias, then the profile, then the entry, then the psychology and risk management into the one trading model. That's one way that you could catch a trade. I have 4. I spent over 5 years learning this and developing 4 models. So remember that pattern, that swirl. It goes like this. That's what we're going from. That's one model. This is 2 models, 3 models, 4 models. Now the market, and why am I putting this out? Why am I saying there's 4 models? Because the market isn't always going to be this model. It's not always going to be that swirl. Sometimes it's going to be this. You know, that pattern. And you kind of got to understand what I'm saying here. Sometimes a day is going to look like different from every other day. Sometimes a day is going to look like this. Sometimes it's going to look like this. Sometimes it's going to look like this. It's going to look different every single day. That's how the market makers get you. How do you know which trading model to use? How do you know how much to risk? How do you know what is a higher probability one? How do you know to take longs here? How do you know to risk more leverage than on this one, right? That's circling back to our trading model. So I'm going to teach you in this mentorship how to develop systems. When you get onto the markets and you're like, okay, I see this happening. I know exactly what to do. Or get onto the markets and say, okay, I see this happening. I don't know what to do. I'm walking off. Okay, I see this happening. I know that I need to identify that it's lower probability, and I'm going to get into the trade because I still know what's happening, but there's a chance I could lose, so I'm going to cut my risk. All of these things are what is important in trading. It's not just a simple market structure shift, fair value gap. It's not just a simple look for a pattern and catch it. That's where all these gurus go wrong. That's where they try to just hook you on a concept and then sell a course to make bread off of you. I don't care if you like me or not. I don't care if you give me money or not. I'm here to teach you the truth. How did I identify that price was going down here? But Ben, you lost this trade. Risk management led me to the point where I could take these two trades, and I closed the day up $13,000 today. How did I know it was going down? I didn't know it was going down here, but once I saw this, now I knew it was going down. These are all things I'm going to teach you. But you first need to learn liquidity, and that's our first topic, is understanding liquidity. What is liquidity? You guys should know liquidity from grade 12 accounting or any sort of finance class in school. That price action, it's not even a trading term. If price action needs to go up, it needs to go down and then up. It needs to fake people out to make people bet on the markets to go down so it has enough liquidity to move up. So price action, if you look on the daily chart here, let me just quickly fix my chart. 1 second, fellas. But if you look on the daily chart, this is the daily chart of the NASDAQ. How come it just doesn't go like that? How come it goes like this? Because price action needs to manipulate sellers before moving up higher. Every time before a price move up higher, it trades lower, taking out some sort of liquidity. Okay? So understanding these price swings is exactly how you predict these price swings. Understanding why we're moving lower. Are we moving lower to continue to move lower? Or are we moving lower so we can end up trading up higher? That is the goal. This is not video 1. This is not the video explaining liquidity. I will get into that. But this is the introduction video. If you guys are still watching this, I know you're going to be successful, because the unsuccessful people skipped ahead. The unsuccessful people thought they didn't need what I was saying, that they know too much already. I learned from ICT, one of the hardest people to learn from. And one of the takeaways I can get from that is he purposely makes his videos long so you sit with yourself and be disciplined and do something you don't want to do. Watch every second of this bootcamp. Journal. Don't move on to the next video if you don't understand, and you will change your life. So that's pretty much it for this YouTube video. We're going to be releasing about a few videos a week. You need to have a journal, a notebook, and you need to get an app called TradingView. This is what I use. You can get it on the App Store. You can search it up on Google, create an account, and open up a chart. I will show you guys how to do that in the next video, but this is the introduction. I will be very brief over the easy things because most people watching this bootcamp already have a basic understanding of trading, but I still will go through it for the beginners. Other than that, guys, I will see you guys in episode 1 of Benjamin's Bootcamp V2, the good bootcamp. I'll probably call it something else. Whatever this is titled is what it's going to be called. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. God bless and peace.